Guys, I'm sitting in my room in one of the scuffiest setups available, one of the coldest days in winter so far. I think it's winter in Japan because it's literally been snowing all day. And I'm holding my mic like a teenager. Right? I think I did one of these videos before and you guys said how weird my sounded. I mean, my voice sounded. I don't know. I think I might have messed up one of my settings, but here I am, right? But the results have to be read, right? They have to be announced. Fuzzy put in so much work in making these pie charts, and I have to read them, right? That's just how I appreciate him, right? At Worlds, he even brought his laptop to, make these pie charts, right? He is dedicated, right? Absolutely dedicated. The only problem is he was casting premium. And yeah, the eventual winner of that was playing some insane store deck, so he just didn't have time to do it on the spot. So yeah, big unfortunate happenings. But let's kind of talk about what happened at Worlds. Now, I casted standard, so I generally had an okay idea of what was happening there. For the other games, I couldn't really watch. Other formats, I couldn't really watch, so I don't know. But let's kind of talk about the one I casted with DF. So this is standard. The top 8 was actually 3 hero, 1 Leonorn, 1 Youthberg, 1 Drajuled, 1 Jiva, and 1 Shoujo Doji. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't think anyone expected this to be the pie chart, right? 3 heroes. Kind of, I heard a lot of people feel that this was a very underrated deck. I'm personally still not a huge fan of it, but hey, right, it did get results, so we can't discount that. Leonorn was actually the highest, taken deck to the tournament. Only 1 made it through, right? So I think 18 out of like 60, or no, it'll be like 79 or 70-ish, something like that. There were 18 Leonorn decks that were brought, and only 1 made it through. So the conversion rate for this was actually not very good, but it was definitely a deck that many considered to be the eventual winner of the 50 card update. Yeah, 1 Youthberg, right, which again, surprising. I think this was the second brought deck though, but 1 Youthberg only, 1 Drajuled as well. 1 Jiva was obviously very unexpected, and then 1 Shoujo. I mean, in terms of unexpected top 8s, literally like 6 out of the 8 would have been very unexpected decks, right? And now let's talk about the eventual winner. So we have here it is, Dorian coming first with that Shoujo Doji. Right, Shoujo Doji coming. This isn't even Snake, right? It's actually just the OG Shoujo Doji. So big grats to him. This was streamed, of course, so you're probably gonna be able to see this posted soon, hopefully. Second was Soraheart with Leonorn. This is the Vivace, Vivace slash. It's 3 colors is what the Japanese side calls it. I learned that from DF, but it's just the one that runs 3 different kind of Leonorns. So mask and all that, so it allows a bit more of a early play. Then we have Rouge Man. Okay, coming with Jiva, right? Again, very, very unexpected. I think a lot of people have written off Jiva as a deck, though to be fair, the 50 card update definitely has made it slightly better. I think it's one of the winners of the 50 card update. And then you got BZ, who is Drajuled, so pretty insane. Honestly, we'll look through some of these decks. This is the Shoujo Doji list. We have to, it's just a bit small, but unfortunately now the Ride deck takes up an extra line. Pure Shoujo Doji, you do a lot of combos, I guess, with the deck. Unprecedented is your 1 advantage getter, as well as Izasaur. And then you also get some defensive power with, Tsukuyodachi to be able to just, call cards, and call itself and make columns and things like that. And this one is also one thing that showed up quite a lot, is that when the Shoujo Doji gets attacked, you get to call this to the Guardian Zone, and it gets plus 5k shields. This kind of lets you play aggressively. It also counter charges as well, and then you can just get some defensive value out of it. So it was pretty cool. You can play a very aggressive game with this deck. Obviously this deck gets more buffed when you get like the stealth PG, but so far it won Worlds, right? It won Worlds. As good as that. Yep. Oh, I just knocked over my setup. Anyway, next we have is the, oh my god, the internet's not even that fast either. Leonorn list as well. So this is one running a heavy kind of, was it heavy audio? No, well, it's decent. It's decent. It was like 6, right? So you got the 2 masks and then the 4 Mythiarch habitats, and then you run the 3 different Leonorn. So 1, 2, 3. And otherwise, this was pretty much one of the most brought decks tools. Actually, I'm not too sure on the numbers because there was still a lot of, on stream we showed like 2 of this kind of build, the 2 triple Leonorn build, and then we also showed 2 pure Vivace builds, right? 2 Unison Dress builds. So it might be more evenly split in the middle than we realize, or it could just be more favored for this deck. But yeah, this actually made it through to the finals, and unfortunately just came second. Alright, so, but still an amazing achievement, yeah? And the third deck we have is Jiva. So this is the Jiva list we're talking about. Running a lot of like one-offs. So this one, this order, I feel like probably might not be that needed unless you were expecting, you know, Chronojets and Messiahs to be in the meta, but so far when you look at it, it really hasn't. And then you're on they're running 4 Trickstars in the main deck, so no Trickster starter shenanigans. A lot of decks have been running 1 Braum as well, which is kind of surprising in my opinion, but I guess it's just another Virina. And then after that, just all the Prayer Dragons, and then Virina Mirage, right? And even running the 2 Arcs is just extra draw fodder. So just a deck that just has a lot of moving pieces, small moving pieces, that hopefully can shape together to make a win. Yep, so congratulations there. And lastly, we have the deck from BZ, and this is just a Dredjewel deck, and I think the only, actually no, he's not running any of the grade 1 Draco kids to kind of search, running Gungaram instead, which is kind of weird, and then also running 4 Falcratias, which is also I guess kind of weird, right? Since you already have like what I assume are better options that you can run that might not make you lose the game. For example, when you don't draw grade 4, I mean, and then otherwise the rest of it is pretty straightforward. So big congrats to the people who topped in D. Right, moving on, we have V as well. So this was kind of expected, right? I think not much happening in V except PRs that get released, and those PRs just break the game. So 4 gold paladins, which is one of the most recent attainers of a really good you know, grade 2 PR. And then the Grand Blue as well, 2 Grand Blue, then 1 Great Nature and 1 Shadow Paladin, and this was eventually won by Rickson Chu. So big congrats to Rickson. And I think in 3rd and 4th place, this is supposed to be switched around. So Henry should actually be in 3rd place, and then Nick is supposed to be 4th place. But yeah, gold paladin domination is what we expected, and there's been a bunch of people running weird techs just to get that edge in the mirror. So we can take a quick look at Rickson's deck. So Rickson here was just had like the 4 is a Gurgit build, but it runs the 1 Ezel just to kind of accelerate your Excel game plan. And then still running things like Aglavale, and then, you know, the Wonder Ezel for the reach and all that, so pretty cool. And then moving on to Premium as well. So Premium was pretty interesting. I think this Worlds had kind of the most diverse decks except for V, but it's just the nature of V to be like that, right? But yeah, for Premium though, we have 2 Neo-Nectars and 2 Genesis, and these 2 Genesises were of different builds. So we have a Fenrir build and a Minerva build, and then after that we have the 1 Nubatama, Bermuda Triangle, Narukami, and a Nova Grappler. And then here's the final breakdown. So we've got Parody, right, running the Fenrir. This is supposed to be like a Fenrir control list, which can take ages to play. And then second we have John with the Regalia. Third we have Gumibas. I think this is Y-Basel. If you don't know his previous name, this was the Neo-Nectar. This is running Neo-Nectar, and like it's the French Neo-Nectar build that the French have been testing. And then we have Stephen Lee, you know, from WCC. Congrats to him, coming 4th place with the Victor. So this is Nova Grappler. So I'm not sure if anyone expected the top 4 to be this, but shows the format definitely has some sort of potential to be just run a lot of things and still be successful, right? So after that, let's kind of look at the decks as well before we wrap up. So this is firstly the Fenrir deck. So I think this player won Cardiff and they was playing a similar deck. This is just like a kind of a Fenris stall deck in a way, is what I'm told. It has a lot of combat tricks that they can use to just kind of deny you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's kind of interesting to see how this works. I heard it just takes a lot of time as well. But yeah, I definitely think not many people was prepared for this deck at all. It's like when you look at this one player running this one weird deck, you're like, look, I just hope I don't face them at Worlds, and let's just call it a day, right? So just don't think many people practice against this, and you know, that's how, you know, knowledge is power, right? So definitely, it's such a weird deck to play that's where one of your advantage lies, and it looks like it was also pretty solid all around. So big congrats there. Then we have just the other Genesis deck that actually came second. This is a much more straightforward deck. It looks like just a Regalia deck, and then just that's kind of it, but with Dreaming Dragon as well to kind of refresh the deck. So pretty cool. Then third we have is the this is the Japanese Neo, what is Neo necked up? Like the token build, the plant token kind of build. And there was another player that came, there was two Neo Nectars, right? So another player came in top 8 and they've had to face each other. They were pretty much running the same deck. So in terms of how well this deck has been going, I think it's been going pretty good. And then lastly, we have Stephen Lee's Victor list, and this Victor list is pretty crazy. I don't know. I feel like Nova Grapplers has always tried to do well every single Worlds, but every single time it just hasn't. But maybe Stephen has broken the curse now, able to make top 8 with Nova Grapplers, and just running something really, really weird. You know, you've got the Victors, you've got the Rolex for I guess it's like just some sort of insurance. And then after that we have, yeah, it's Novas. It's actually just Novas, and they came 4th place. So big win for the Nova Grappler community. Okay win for us, all right, in the WCC community. And then lastly we have the JP side. They happened on the same weekend as well, and they had their deluxe tournament. The winner for standard was Dark J, was playing Shunui. And then after that, we had, it was the Luan deck piloted by Chad, right? What a nice name, Chad, right? And then third, we have Minju Hong, who was playing a Shunui deck as well. And quickly take a look at some of these decks. So here was the Shunui first place deck. It ran 4 Espral Ideas, right? Which, again, you know, at least works when your opponent has fished out a Bracing Angel Ladder or does shenanigans that's not let you dominate stuff. So at least you get 5 attacks going into it, right? So very, very cool, and still able to fit in a lot of the early game techs that you want to run in this deck. But that means you do sacrifice a lot of your multi-attacks. So if you look at this, he took out a lot of Seki A's, because this is primarily a second stride card, right? If you want on your first stride, you ideally want Full Rise instead, because they get slightly bigger power. And sure, Sekie's like second skill is insane, because you like draw cards and get power, but does the game really reach there if you're thinking this format is just going to be grade 2 gaming all day? Games generally end on the first strike, which Espral Idea will also help with. Of course, it doesn't help with you know, just the early game at all. Well, actually, yeah, no, it doesn't, but it does help you with the other thing, which is when you get cucked by some sort of anti-dominate scenario. So pretty cool there. Then next we have is this Luan list. This was running also some weird things. This is kind of what you have to do if you're at Worlds in order to try to get maybe an edge. It's running 4 of the Minerva orders. I don't know why, right? I don't know why. It's kind of, I guess it's just to kind of help out your grade 2 game in a way, because it's also at grade 2. But yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool looking at some of these innovations to counter the meta. And the third place deck was just another Shiranui deck running 3 Esper ideas instead. Also some Brachio Force. So a lot of early game focus here. And then apart from that, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys all think about the decks this year, whether it was cool, right? Whether some of these decks are crazy. I think it was pretty crazy. I think some of these decks are insane. So just let me know what you guys all think, and I'll see you all in the next video. All right, bye.